Our next guest says the debt deal is a big win for taxpayers. Joining us now from Washington, D.C., Mattie Corrao, the Government Affairs Manager of Americans for Tax Reform. Good to have you with us, Mattie.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Lou.
You heard Dick Morris's analysis. You're looking at this as a win for the taxpayers. I suspect a lot of people are reacting that way, except perhaps members of the Tea Party and the Dick Durbin left of the Democratic Party.
Right. Well, the thing that we need to keep in mind here, and Dick mentioned this before, is that the debt limit has never actually been used as a debt limit. It's never actually limited spending. It's never forced any reform that would require members of Congress to confront our ballooning debt. So that in and of itself is a win. The fact that we have a speaker who committed himself unequivocally to not raising taxes and Republican rank and file that followed suit is also an extraordinary measure, because it means coming down the road, the focus will continue to be on the spending problem and the overspending problem the government has. And setting up this debt limit deal in two different tranches really makes a lot of sense. It gives the president some leash to start taking the exigency and the rhetoric of emergency away from him, but it also requires him to come back to the table, and it requires Congress to continue to get serious about their spending problem in the form of this committee, and it also requires there to be serious, significant, and real spending cuts before any more debt authority is extended. The president knows that. Your
judgment, the political judgment of the impact of the Tea Party here. We would not, I think, everyone is honest enough to acknowledge that the Tea Party gave the Republican Party its spine in November of 2010. Secondly, that the Tea Party brought us to this point in history. To what degree do you think the Tea Party is perhaps squandering both opportunity and influence by so many of its members opposing this deal?
I think it was an interesting cleavage to see this play out between maybe someone would call a traditional Republican and some of these new Tea Party Republicans, because we did have this groundswell of new members in November who came in thinking that we really need to change Washington, and they were right. The difficulty, I think, is a lot of the Tea Party wants immediate change. They're so fed up with the extraordinary explosion in government spending we've seen over the last couple of years.
Right. But I understand, but Mattie, I'm asking you very specifically. What do you think of their influence, their power, and the way in which they have strategized this vote?
Well, I think in the end of the day, what you saw is a very good deal emerge from calls for greater government spending cuts and for stricter reform. And I think you'll see that play out down the road, that it will require members of Congress to continue to hold the line on no taxes and to increase their resolve to increase spending cuts and to reform the way the government spends money. I think the Tea Party played a large role in that. I think they need to take this deal as a win. I think people who are now aggrandizing the fact that this deal isn't cut enough, that it doesn't get to the meat of the issue, is a problem, because, as I said before, this is a significant reversal in the way Washington does business by using the debt limit to net significant reform.
And to what degree would you credit the Tea Party movement?
I think the Tea Party movement played a huge role in that, in this being a successful bill.
All right. Mattie, thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks, Lou.
We appreciate it.